I think big goals are one of the most motivating things that push you to achieve new heights of your own personal abilities, because and also another thing too is that being realistic. So I set a goal. I mean, something in my head that just seems ridiculous is a 400-pound bench, and it sounds pretty amazing. I mean, to me, anyone who can bench 400 pounds is freaking a boss, and it's freaking savage. Just to imagine having that weight on your wrists, I just can't even imagine it. So I decided to make another big goal, big commitment to hit a 400-pound bench. Now, 3 months, yes, that's unrealistic. It's unreal, but for 2.5 years, I think that's very realistic. So that will be my goal: a 400-pound bench by about 2.5 years, 2017. Here's a PR. This is a 285 for a double. Touch and go. I was actually supposed to do a pause bench, but then I kind of I freaked out and got scared. So I guess that happens to the best of us. And then I do some back off sets with 270. So 285 for a double. And man, this 270 to 285 is like my freaking Achilles heel when it comes to the bench press. This is something I definitely want to go work on and just keep improving. Probably going to pick up a full bore slingshot. The slingshot that I do have, I don't think gives enough assistance. It's effective, but just not enough assistance. And I haven't been using it a whole lot lately because I just haven't had. I didn't prepare well enough. So that's just really what's happening. And then here, I think this is wide grip bench. Yeah, so doing some wide grip pause benching for higher reps, building some volume. When it comes to building strength for the bench press, it's really just about technique. Of course, building muscle is important. I'm not going to discount that. What I'm saying is, like, when you're trying to make, you're 4 weeks out for a meet, maybe 6 weeks out. I mean, everything's really going to be based on technique. You're not going to really put on a ton of muscle in your chest to bench more. It's really just all about setup. It's all about preparation for your feet position, your core activation, your elbows being tucked in, or whatever the tight shoulder blades need to be. And then when it comes to, after my meet, everything is about building strength. And what's building strength? Building strength is basically a form of bodybuilding. That's really all it is. You're building your body to tolerate more workload. And you do that by focusing on volume. So this is kind of the philosophy, it seems like, with a lot of programs out there, is that you focus on working the top set or some heavy weight, get used to some heavy weight, and then you build volume by doing reps. It's just a good mixture. There's lots of different methods out there. One of the popular ones that I told Nas, my coworker, on the podcast that we do, is that he said, what did he say? He said, I told him he didn't know what to do for deadlift, so I told him, so why don't you just go ahead and just work up to a heavy triple and then do a back off set with 20% less weight for max reps, and then do another back off set for max reps. And I think that's kind of a fun way to kind of see where you're at as far as strength. So it's kind of like a light way to test your strength, and then also it's a good way to kind of build some volume in. So doing some overhead presses and bent over rows. If you didn't see earlier, the bent over rows are kind of done at a little bit higher angle than I usually do them. And I did that because I wanted to kind of work on my traps a little bit, so that I work more higher elevation in the shoulders. Here's some overhead pressing now with 135. And after doing the benching, this felt pretty damn heavy. I gotta say that, the hardest thing when it comes to overhead press is really just the flexibilities. I mean, it almost feels like an overhead press is basically just an incline press. So over the coming weeks, we're definitely going to really work on improving the strength of this. And I'm definitely going to be following the Boss Barbell template. I really like the Boss Barbell strength method. I like the way he sets up the shoulders, and just basically a shoulder day and a bench day. But I just like the format and the choosings of the movements. And then as far as squats, I'm still not sure. I'm going to have to build my own program for that because of my knee. That's just kind of, I have to take my time and build really slowly. But technically, I guess I could really follow it. I mean, in the future, I'm going to definitely share some programming details with like kind of how I do things. But I mean, one of the big things is that training and programming is really more of an art than it is a science. I mean, of course, science is important, still in there. But the thing to realize is that you have to you got to know what your capabilities are. And when I say know your capabilities, not your maxes, but like what your technical maxes are. When do you start to lose form? What are your weaknesses? Where do you get stuck? And that's kind of how you determine like how to do your repetitions, how to do your sets, what rep schemes to use. I mean, all programs basically work. It's just kind of like to get the most out of your program, you really have to know yourself. Or in this case, if you're training another person or you're programming for another person, you really got to know another person. So it's kind of interesting, when I see these online trainings, people that work with a coach, I mean, unless you're really spending some time with them, like really watching them work out, I don't know how you can provide a really good consistent service, you know. So I mean, that's kind of why I haven't really offered any online training, because I really don't know. I'm not sure about how to implement it, because I will in the future, but still not sure how I'm going to do it. And it won't be for a little while. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.